Hey guys, this is Elder Andres Garcia. I'm a missionary currently in the China-Hong Kong mission. I've been serving for about 18 months, and so I still got lots of time left to spread the gospel here in Hong Kong. A lot of you might know me, maybe not. I went to Skyview High School, and yeah, I'm a convert about 3 years, so maybe a lot of you haven't seen me at church activities or things like that. But yeah, so today I hope to speak a little bit about why I decided to go on a mission, my conversion story, and what I feel like can help you maybe want to have a desire to go on a mission. So I grew up in Smithfield, and pretty much growing up, I grew up Catholic my whole life. From 0 to 18, I was going to Catholic school, Catholic church, all these things, and right now my family's still Catholic, so I'm the only member of my family. I was pretty much, you could say, the only non-Mormon in Cache Valley, so you can imagine how that was. That was like, growing up, I had a lot of friends, always tried to get me to go to church. They'd give me books of Mormon with their testimonies written in them. They'd invite me to activities and all that. And to be honest, I did not like it at all. I was pretty stubborn in that sense. My family really liked going to church, to Catholic church. And so every Sunday they'd invite me to go, but my attitude towards church and God and religion was not too good. I was more on the science side. Like, I liked evolution, I liked these things. I didn't believe there was a God, things like that. So I would go to church only to go to my friends' farewells and things like that. So that was a good start. So I can understand if a lot of you feel like you don't have a testimony, or things are hard, or you might not know if these things are true, things like that. Like, I was one of the most stubborn people ever, and yet the Spirit touched me, and here we are in Hong Kong serving a mission. So we know that, coming into the mission, we can start here. I came in, I was super scared. I walked into the MTC, and one of the first classes that we had was on a spiritual message. And our teacher starts with a Bible story. He's like, "Oh, well, we all know this Bible story." And everyone's like, "Yeah." And I was sitting there like, "Look, what is this?" Like, I didn't know anything about Bible stuff, so I was like losing it. I was like, I'm gonna go to Hong Kong, be a missionary, and teach a gospel that I have no idea what it's about. But yeah, so you can only imagine how scared I was at that point. And I was actually just pretty surprised to be out on a mission in the first place. Because when I first got baptized, people would ask me, "Oh, your friends are going on missions, what about you? Are you gonna go out?" And I was like, I would make the excuse because I want to be a doctor, so I'd make the excuse, "Oh no, I have lots of school, and then I have to wait a year before I can go through the temple, so it's gonna put me too late. I'm gonna be super old when I go on the mission. There's gonna be a bunch of young kids. It's gonna be bad." But it's cliche to say, and it's like, you really just have to pray about it. A big reason why I decided to go was because before I got baptized, I told myself, okay, if you're gonna get baptized, you're gonna do it. Like, you're gonna raise your kids in this gospel. You're gonna go to church. You're gonna do your call, and you're gonna do these things that make you a Mormon, you can say. Because when I was going to the Catholic church, I would go and play on my phone all throughout class, all throughout church. And that wasn't the right thing to do. So if I was going to do it, I was going to do it well. And after I got baptized, it was kind of weird still to get in the hang of things, because it was a whole new world for me. The church, the gospel, reading, praying every day, going to church every Sunday, making the correct choices. I didn't think I could do it. But then, I remember one night I was thinking, okay, if I want to marry in the temple, if I want my kids to grow up in this church, I have to have a testimony. I have to know these things are true. So I decided to go serve. Before I made up my decisions, I talked to my bishop and I started my papers, and I was still not sure. I was still praying about it. And then my call came, and I was like, "Oh man, this is it. Like, I have to go now." So I got called, and I'm probably the only Mexican here in China-Hong Kong mission, which is kind of cool, so I'm still figuring out why I'm here. But once you get out here, it's cheesy to say, but it's like, you really do start picking up your testimony, because you're teaching the restoration, you're teaching about the plan of salvation, you're teaching people that there's life after death, that there's hope, that families are eternal, and things like this. And if you don't have a testimony of these things, it's hard to teach. And at the beginning of my mission, I can honestly tell you, I probably did not have the best testimony that I could have had. I had read the Book of Mormon once before my mission, and that was like a straight skim. I would just do it, I would act through it, I would not ponder it, I wouldn't do anything. So stepping into the mission, I knew nothing. Like, it was rough. But you force yourself out here, you lose yourself, you rely on the Lord, you get on your knees at night, you ask for help, because it's like, if you don't do it, you're wasting your 2 years. So that's something I had to realize quickly on my mission, because you get out here and you're like, it hits you, it's like, oh, I'm here for 2 years. Now I could either waste my time these 2 years, or I can make something happen. I have friends doing fun things at home, I have family going throughout life at home, and I'm out here on a mission super far away, and I left school, I left all these things. So let's make it worth it. So it's hard to make this decision to go serve a mission, and you might not be too sure if it's the right thing to do. But trust yourself. If you're shy, it's a whole new world out on the mission. Don't be shy. Like, we are really blessed to know the truthfulness of this gospel, and if we're shy about it and we don't want to teach people about it and we keep it to ourselves, then what's the point of even knowing the gospel if we're not going to help other people? Because the gospel isn't intended to help ourselves. It's to help our families, it's to help our friends, it's to help everyone live with Heavenly Father again and have eternal life. So if you look at it in that sense, really, it's really just, you have to start your papers. Start your papers even if you're not sure. Talk to your bishop, pray about it, talk to your parents, and then ask yourself if your testimony right now is big enough and firm enough to raise a family in the gospel, to do the things that you have to do throughout the rest of your life. Because I promise that once you get out on your mission, things will make more sense. The Spirit will help you as you bear testimony every day about the things that you've learned growing up. It just starts building inside, and you really know. Trust me, I knew nothing, absolutely nothing about the gospel before I came out. And I still know not a lot at all. But it's crazy how much you know that the restoration is true and that the church is true just by the little things, by the changes you see in other people's lives. So give it a shot. Pray about it. Talk to your bishop about it. And I promise it'll work out, and that you will love the mission and you'll gain a testimony. At first it's hard. At first you don't know. But trust me, if any of you knew me before, like in high school, you would be pretty surprised that I got out here in the first place as well. I was super stubborn. I didn't like these things. I didn't like church. But just give yourself a chance. Let Heavenly Father change you, work through you, and I know that things will get better. I've seen it in my life, and I know that my service here to the Lord is blessing my family at home. Even if they haven't accepted the gospel, I know that they are being blessed. I know that my friends are being blessed, and that my future family will be blessed as well. So rely on the Lord to give you an answer, the Heavenly Father to give you an answer, and things will work out. And yeah, I love you guys, and I'm pretty excited to see and hear all the things that you guys do out in your missions. And I leave these things with you in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.